All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're looking at HLBZ. It's looking pretty decent. We were playing this yesterday as well. We had some decent luck with it. Looks like it opened up pretty flat today, took a little bit of a dip. It did make a new high today, so it's definitely good news. New high of the pre-market anyway. Yesterday was a lot higher. It has run up to about just under just hitting $1.80 here, back down quite a bit to $1.60. We're still above that VWAP line, so hopefully we do see a bounce on open. C to LWT here, nice run up going from around $1.54 all the way to 240, so almost a whole dollar gains right on that VWAP line. This is definitely something we want to watch on open here. We have SSNT did have a pretty massive run here from 420 all the way up to 590. Looks like it's back down to about 470 right now, just holding on to that bottom Bollinger Band, but it is below that 200 EMA, so we're going to have to wait to see if there's something to play here. CSSE, kind of the same story. Nice run up back down near the beginning here. AMTD is looking pretty good right now, right on VWAP. That's something I kind of would more consider playing. And then we've got Megal here, which is it's looking okay. Not really the price range I would like to play, so we probably won't, but you never know. We're going to wait for the market to open here. Looks like we have HLBZ running, so we're going to go ahead and jump in on this. HLBZ. We're going to have a lot of, let's see here, $1.60. We're going to go, I'd like to get in $1.60. I don't know if that's going to happen, though, so we'll try for $1.65. We're going to go for 180, and then $1.60 stop loss. We'll do that instead. So if you can't get in $1.65, basically you're going to be leaving 5 cents from wherever you get in. $1.60 being probably the bottom area we would want to be in. Anything lower, and I don't know. You could, if you got a really good entry, you could go 159 if you wanted to, but you wouldn't really need to go much lower than that. That's pretty much the bottom of where we want to be. Let's hope this continues its run now. Okay, there's 165 here. Might get a little lower. Oh, looks like 165 is going to be as good as we're going to get. We did hit the entry. Let's see if we can make a run for it. AMTD's heading down. CLWT's nice curl up here. I want to take a play on CLWT as well. We're going to go for a 230 P or 225 entry. We're going to go for a 250 PT and then just a 220 stop loss. We have had a pretty decent run up here. 250's not out of bounds completely here, so I do think we will get something at least close to it. All right, we're almost at 240 here, so think about taking some profits. Okay. Taking some profits on CLWT. That's actually, we just hit PT on it as well. That was actually pretty nuts. That was very, very high, very, very fast compared to what I thought it was going to be. So we took some profits right at 250 here. We're almost at 260 already. HLBZ back down a little bit, but we did hit 170 there from a 165 entry. I would suggest taking a little bit of profits here. This is risky. Take some profits, HLBZ, when you can. Getting risky. We'll see if we can get higher, but I'm willing to take a little bit off. CLWT hit the high there, 264. Definitely a good place to start taking some more profits. Taking some more profits on CLWT around 270-ish. Yeah, because we hit 266 there. 16 cents higher than our PT there, so not bad, not bad. AMTD continues on its way down. SSNT is not doing much. CSSE is not doing much. Megal's not really doing much. HLBZ down quite a bit here. So if you didn't take profits around that 170 area, it's looking very, very close to a stop out. I'm sure it probably will stop out. We do have that VWAP down here. This is going to be the next support line. This is most likely where we're going to end up. We'll have to see. CLWT still looking pretty good here as it reaches again for that 260 mark. Could go higher. Although I think we're likely to see a pullback on this soon, so make sure you're at least mostly out of this. AMTD with a nasty, nasty drop on open. Look at that. Red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle. We're below that 200 EMA now. This could be a decent recovery play. Yeah, I would say we could probably take a recovery off of this 240 area. I think I might try that. AMTD 240. We're going to go for a 265. And then just a 235 stop. Recovery play. Okay. HLBZ is going to stop us out on the remainder. CLWT does look like it's heading down, 2 bearish candles in a row. On this note, we probably will try another HLBZ trade. HLBZ, 155. We're going to go for 170, and then a 150 stop. I think I'm okay with this. We are pretty negative on that MACD. We still have a lot of room to go down here, but I think if we get a good entry, we could make this work. Might wait a little bit longer than 155. I think there's definitely an opportunity here that it could go lower. We are below that VWAP. We're close to that bottom band, so that's one thing you got to watch for. But if you're patient, you might be able to get a better entry. You don't need too much of a better entry though, because essentially you're just wanting to get this stop line below that 200 EMA. Giving it a little bit more room than this would be perfect. Maybe another cent, but you don't need much more than that. CLWT looks like it's going to be turning around here, heading back up. We have AMTD sort of turning around. We're at 154. That's good enough for me. That's about all the patience that I have. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. 153. On that note, we could probably move the stop down to at least 149. You could go 148 if you want to. I think that's pretty reasonable. So we're going to say entered a bit late, HLBZ 153, SL 148. There we go. AMTD at 250 currently, looking pretty decent. CLWT is on its way down. Megal did have a decent run here, going from 1290 up to 14. Lots of volatility. The range isn't too bad on it. Not really the price range I enjoy playing, so I'm probably just gonna leave it be for now. But you know what? It does look half decent if you're interested on playing one of the, I don't know, I guess medium caps. That would be the one to go for, I think. HLBZ kind of struggling here, but it's hesitating to go lower, which is definitely a good sign. CLWT definitely heading down. Probably might take a playoff VWAP here. We'll have to see if we hold. We'll see if we hold first on this support line of 237. There you go, man. Way to go. All right, let's see what CLWT does here. This might be an opportunity. It's looking like an opportunity. I like the way that candle's forming. Let's go CLWT. I would say this is probably fairly risky. We're going to go for a 230. Give it a 232 entry just to be safe. We're going to give it a 250 PT and then just a 220, maybe 228 stop loss. So you might not quite get that entry. I mean, ideally, that's where we would end up. But if you're not comfortable taking it quite yet, you can always hold off for a little bit and see if you can get in lower. There's definitely a possibility that this MACD continues its downtrend, but we're hoping that it bounces off that VWAP support. HLBZ, very nice gains here at 162 currently from our entry at 153. I'm going to go ahead and start taking some profits on this. Taking some profits, HLBZ, 163-ish. That is 10 cents from where I got in, and 10 cents is a lot of money when you're sub $2. Hey, 165, perfect. Willing to take that. We're still hoping for 170 for the PT, but I mean at 165, that's pretty close. I think that you could take majority out if you want to. CLWT still struggling off of the VWAP line here. Definitely looking bullish with these candles so far. Definitely good news there. HLBZ still sitting up pretty high. We have AMTD struggling to get past 250 here. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing. This is a pretty heavy consolidation given we had such a hefty drop. So we'll see this move pretty soon, hopefully. Megal dropped from 100 yesterday. Yeah. And then the day before that, it was 230. So yeah, definitely good to be leery about something like this when it's dropped, but this kind of makes me a little more confident that it would be fairly easy to get decent gains out of it because you don't really have big drops like this and not have massive amounts of bag holders, right? There's people sitting here at 220 and 120 and $50 and even $20 who are bag holding on this. Which should keep it from dropping much more. There's more room to go up than there is to go down. HLBZ breaks through that PT, hits 173. We'll likely take some more profits out here. Taking some more profits on it. 172-ish. We'll see if we can get higher. I don't think we're going to get much higher on it right this second, but I'm willing to leave a little bit in just to see. CLWT does break down a little bit more with a big red candle. Not what we were hoping for. We are breaking bearish on that MACD. This could be a decent exit. We did come very, very close to stopping out, so got to take what you can get, and sometimes it's better to fold it. This might be a fold. If you want to play it safe anyway, you'd be folding here. If you're playing it risky and you still think that this has an opportunity to head up, then definitely hold on. This could be a bumpy ride though. AMTD still struggling. HLBZ back down to that 160 area, but we did manage to squeeze out a pretty darn good win out of that. So I'm going to probably close down CSS here and go with maybe OSER. OSER's looking pretty decent here, 340 to 418, so we have decent range. Candles are a little lacking, but they're not too bad. This looks like it's something that's going to continue to run, so I kind of want to just jump in on it. OSER, 410 if we can. We're going to go for 440 with a $4 stop. I don't want to leave it too much room because I'm not sure what the stock is going to do, but you know what? You do have to take these chances sometimes and jump in on things that are currently running rather than waiting for a pullback. And this would be a pretty good example of why, because we're already at 430 on it. Not much gains, took an entry around 420, but which means our stop loss should technically be moved up to 410. You can afford to give this about 9, 10, maybe 12 cents of room. So you could have a 408 stop. That is 440 right there. PT on OSER. Taking some profits and leaving a decent size runner. We're definitely going to leave a decent sized runner on this. We don't really need to worry too much about it, I don't think, especially since we didn't really make a ton of money off it. 20 cents it's okay, but I don't think it's great. CLWT did get all the way back up to the rejection line and so got rejected. So it did drop back down to the stop line. If you didn't take that warning for an exit, you're now hitting stop. Let's see here. Just making sure I ledger everything. AMTD down a little bit here, down to 238. It's not looking great. It's not looking great. Our stop loss is 235 right here, so yeah, it's getting pretty close to that stop. I mean, we shouldn't hit it, but there's always that chance that we do. We are right on that cusp, right? So you could technically move that stop down a little bit more if you want to. I don't know if it's going to be necessary. It looks like it might have been necessary. We'll have to wait and see. HLBZ back to 170 here, 172. This may be pushing for a new high of day here. Come on, let's see it. Oser's at 448 here, almost 450. You could think about taking some more profits on this if you want to. If you didn't, all the way back down to VWAP, just like that. Very volatile. 174 on HLBZ there. Looks like we were pushing for that new high. Didn't quite get it. You paper handed it, but green? Good. VLD, I'll take a look at that one. We'll get rid of this one. Velo 3D. Let's take a look. We have a 380 all the way up to 480. So or 450, sorry. It's looking pretty decent. Did have a decent pullback there down to VWAP around 420. Looks like it's pulled back up quite a bit since then. This could be another one that runs. I'm willing to take the risk. I think we're doing pretty good on the account challenge so far, so I'm willing to take a couple extra risky trades here. 440, we're going to go for a 4. We'll just go for a 460 PT. We'll see what happens, and then we'll go for a 425 stop. We need to be able to give this at least a little bit of room here in case we see another pullback. $445, that's not terrible for an entry. 444. HLBZ looks like it is pushing for that high of day. Oser dropped pretty dramatically here, right through that VWAP, down a little bit lower. So if you're holding still, this is looking pretty risky. 177 on HLBZ, we're almost at 180. 180, I'll think about taking a little bit more on the profits. And then we'll leave a small runner to see if we can keep pushing it higher for that high a day. CLWT bouncing off this stop line quite a few times. We are breaking through that resistance line as well a little bit here. If it can hold, this could be good. We're just breaking positive on MACD. I think this is an opportunity to jump back in on CLWT, sorry. We'll go for a 235. We're going to go for a 250 PT and then a 230 stop. 230, pretty close. I don't expect this to be coming back down this far, though. If it does, I don't really want to be holding it. Okay. Getting that 235 entry. All right, let's see what that can do. HLBZ still struggling to make that high a day. We're sitting up pretty high, though. AMTD is looking good. We came very, very close to stopping out. Looks like the recovery is starting to pan out for us. VLD here is looking okay as well. We hit 450 a couple times from 440-ish. Oser's down past that stop, so if you held into that stop, definitely stopping out now. Megals had it down so far as well. What else we got going on here? We got QTRX we could take a look at. Yeah, not much in range in there, so we're gonna let that go. We got Bark. Bark's heading down. We have let's try LILM. Well, that one had a nice run up and then a very nice pullback. How's the volume looking? Volume is pretty shy right now, so I don't think we're going to be playing that either. Hitting that 180 mark on HLBZ, this is where we were going to think about taking more profits, so we're going to go ahead and take more profits. HLBZ 180. And we're just going to leave a small runner left in this because we want to see if we can push for a new high a day here. $182. BLD down a little bit. Oser looks like it is coming back. We went from $4 to $4.20. This could be another potential play. Well, volume's okay. We didn't break bearish. CLWT all the way down to 230, just like that. Massive red candle. Yeah, that's going to be a stop for sure. I still think there's money to be made CLWT. On CLWT here, I think we just have to find the right opportunity with it. We could have probably afforded to give it a couple extra cents too, but that's okay. I didn't want to stretch it too far. We're hitting 190 on HLBZ. Gonna take some more profits on it. HLBZ 190 and have a tiny bit left. All right, we got up really high on this. This is a lot higher than I thought we were going to get. We broke that high a day. It looks like it ran. It could continue its run. We have like really only a couple shares left at this point, but you never know. It could go up a lot higher. As far as CLWT goes, this does still look like a winner to me. I still want to play this, so I think I am going to look for an entry on CLWT around 130 or 230, sorry. We're going to go for a 250 PT and then a 220. Let's give it a 224 stop. So we're going to give it a fairly decent shake here at moving back up. It would have to break into a new low to stop us out, and at that point, we definitely don't want to be in it. So this one's going to be a little bit safer of a trade, I would say, if we can manage to get a really good entry on it. HLBZ still sitting up very high here. It did make a push to 191. VLD still sitting there. OSER's back down a little bit. LILM's not doing anything. We have no volume there, so we're just going to exit out of that. Let's take a look here. AMTD still sitting pretty low at 240. All right, we're basically getting our entry here at 230 on CLWT. MACD still dipping negative and positive and negative, so it's looking iffy, but I do think that this has a good opportunity to hit that 250 area again very quickly. It's just a matter of whether or not we make a new low first. As long as you made some money, it's definitely not a problem. APDN, I took a look at APDN earlier. I didn't see anything I really liked with it, but take a look again. Yeah, the pre-market looked like crap, but market open's looking pretty good for this. We've got a range of 489 to 520. That's pretty slim. That's a little too slim for the kind of profits I'd be looking to make off this. I think I'll leave this one alone. HLBZ still struggling. CLWT right at that entry point. VLD down a little bit. We could see a bounce off VWAP. No problem. CLWT, another big knife right into stop. All right, so we're going to be stopping out on that. Not the end of the world, but I think this one's probably going to be going for a pretty decent dip before we can play this. So we'll leave this one alone for a little while. It's most likely going to go down to, I would say, the 200 EMA, even though it's pretty far down. I think it could definitely do that if it's going to keep breaking into these lows. We'll take that stop. VLD down quite a bit. We have AMTD still struggling. We still have a good chance of stopping out on this because we are so close to that low of day, but we'll have to wait and see. HLBZ here took a little bit of a dip down to that 180 mark. I'm not really comfortable buying in on this 180. I think 174 is probably a little bit, probably have a little bit more support in that area, so I would like to wait for that. I'm going to keep an eye on CLWT to see if there's an opportunity, but so far, no dice on this one. Let's see here. What else we got? MDNA we can take a look at. Yeah, I don't like that one at all. That one's got almost no price action behind it. A VRNA. VRNA's got price action. The range on it is again fairly slim. It's about $1 range here. That's not terrible, but again, we're at that $10 mark, which is not something I really like playing. GMDA. proper price range, but the volatility is not really there. There's the price action. Yeah, we'll probably leave that be right around that stop area again on AMTD. We'll see if we stop out here. HLBZ back up. It looks like it is going to bounce off that 180 area. I think the profit margins are too slim up here to be trying to take another play so quickly, so I kind of want to wait and see what happens with this. If it breaks into a new high day again, we could probably do another run. VLTD down into stop. Wasn't really a whole lot of opportunity there for profit. So if you did take that VLD trade, you're definitely stopping out. You probably didn't take anything on it. OSER down quite a bit. We can get rid of that stop because that one's done. GMDA is not doing a whole lot. CLWT looks like it's coming back a little bit, but I have a feeling it's probably just a dead cat bounce. AMTD still flirting with that stop loss. HLBZ does break into that high of 191, doesn't quite get past it. Looks like it's going to come back down a little bit again. Might make an attempt to break through it again. I feel like we don't have a lot of good tickers to play. We have a couple like okay tickers. There's INKT inked. This one's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to jump in on this one right away. Inked. Yeah, definitely was a good idea to jump in. 165. Didn't even get to really alert this, but that's okay. 180. And then like a 160 stop, because we can only really afford about, 5 cents of room. But from where I got in, 160 is going to be the stop. Basically already past that PT. Well past that PT now. So definitely taking some profits on Inked. Little bit of spread there, so be careful with that, because at some points here we're hitting 8 cents, 9 cents spread. So if you're trying to buy in with market, make sure you're watching that spread and trying to hit it when it's low. And yeah, AMTD, as soon as it broke that stop loss, way down. So it's you know what? I'm okay with that. I'll take that stop any day of the week. Inked went all the way up to 195. Yeah, HLBZ breaking into new high here. PT on Inked. HLBZ did break that high a little bit. This is probably going to be a really risky entry if we jump in anywhere around here. I'd still like to see a pullback down to VWAP, but how likely is that? It's going to take some time to figure that one out. I think Inked is still playable as well. There's probably still another play here. I have a little bit left in it, not a whole lot though, especially once we hit like 190 or 195 or whatever we hit. Although I hit with pretty bad spreads, so my sell is 188, unfortunately. But I guess that's the game you play when you're playing with something volatile like this. Got lots of volume behind it. Yeah, pretty decent volume. Bullish candle. HLBZ hitting that new high again at 195. CLWT, not really doing a whole lot. VLD, not doing a whole lot. OSER, not doing much. Inked still struggling, but I do think there's a decent opportunity to get in around 168. Maybe even 165 still with that 160 stop loss. If you hit 165, I think that this is one of those stocks that has a really good chance of just stopping you out because of volatility, but on the other end of the spectrum, like this is maybe just the perfect amount of volatility to, if you get lucky, to not stop out and then make really good gains really quickly. So that's something to keep in mind. AMTD continues its drop, so it's breaking that low of day and continuing down. So actually low of forever, as far as I can see. Not forever, but Far, far, far away. This is holding on VWAP really well. I might go for a whole full trade into this again. Inked 170, 190, and then a 165 stop loss. Risky play. Definitely a risky play. I wouldn't suggest it for the faint of heart, that's for sure. This could be a very quick stop out. We're having a 165 stop. Let's see if we can make something decent happen here. 180, I'll take some profits for sure. And then we're looking at 190 for making PT. HLBZ sees a pretty nice pullback here. This could be the only opportunity we have to jump in. It's very risky, but I'm going to do it anyway. 185. We're going to go for $2 here, see if we can break that whole dollar. And then just 180 stop, I think. I can't really fathom giving this more than 5 cents. We're almost at 190. If we touch 190, I'm more than happy to take a little bit off the table. HLBZ as well will be taking some profits, 190. Just to ease my mind a little bit, make sure we walk away with something on this. Ink's still doing okay. Oh, sir, looks like it could turn around here. We're seeing low volume, though, which kind of worries me a little bit. iLeg and MGAM. Let's take a look at those. Got a lot of chats to look at. I always forget to check one or the other. iLeg. iLeg's looking okay. We're seeing it go from 316 to 380, so the range is pretty good. Currently sitting on that 200 EMA. That's definitely a good place to buy in. I think I'm gonna leave it alone right now because I'm not seeing any movements out of it, but it could be a decent place if we've still got price action left. And then MGAM. And MGAM also has some decent range to it. Nice looking chart. Volume still looking good. I would definitely be waiting for a pullback down to that VWAP here, 510 for an entry, but I think it's definitely doable. HLBZ sitting around 185. Okay, so we're gonna see what HLBZ does here. We've secured a little bit. iLeg, not really doing a whole lot here. Inked all the way down. We only hit 175. Wasn't really enough profits for me to want to take it. I probably should have in retrospect, but you know, hindsight's always 2020. So we're gonna take the stop on that at 165. And that was, we knew what we were getting ourselves into. There was definitely that possibility that we definitely hit a flat top here. It was whether it was going to break out or break down, and breakdown was the way it chose. HLBZ could also be running into stop here, very, very close. We secured a little bit of profit on it, nothing major though. So if it does stop us out right here like it did, we'll probably be looking to see it hit VWAP. One other area I'd be looking at would be to see if it breaks a new low here. If it can get lower than, if it bounces off 178, that's definitely a good sign. If it breaks down, we'd be looking at a VWAP play. Inked continues on its way down. iLeg, yeah, really no volume there. MGAM at least has a little bit of price action still, so that's good. Not quite where I want it yet, though. Inked continues its drop. VLD not really doing a whole lot either. CLWT, sorry, on its way down to that 200 EMA, as we talked about earlier. So I think that's probably going to be an opportunity to buy in. So we're going to go CLWT. We're going to go for this 200 EMA line or somewhere around there, around 206. Going to go for a 220 PT and then a $2 stop. That gives us a fair bit of room from 206. We'll see what we can do with that. Hopefully it bounces here. If it didn't bounce, I'd be very, very surprised off the 200, but you never really know. It could fall right through. AMTD with a nice recovery there, going from 211 all the way back up to 230. HLBZ still flirting with that stop that's just kind of a line right now, but I do think we do have some support here in this area, so I'm going to make that support line. We are looking to see a bounce here. We're negative on that MACD. That's the only reason I'm not in right this second. Yeah, I would say AMTD is probably a dead cat bounce at this point. It did break into a new low, so I wouldn't really be looking at playing this bullish. You could play this as a short if it's available. HLBZ is going to bounce off this area, so we could look at getting a 180 entry on HLBZ. So why it's so hard to play things that have already ran when you're not in the bull market, because you can never really identify where the proper entry is going to be and where it's not. 176 stop. All the way up to 186 so far. Got a little bit of a late entry, but it's looking decent so far. We're just breaking into that MACD here, positive MACD. Where did I get a CLWT? 208. If you're talking about the most current trade, I mean, the last time I got into it was 230. So we've made our way down quite a bit here for this entry. I'm hoping it bounces off that. HLBZ is looking pretty good as well. 186, 190 is what we're kind of hoping for as our first area to take profit. Inked continues on its way down, just completely giving up all the profits. BIOR, we could take a look at that as well. So we did hit VWAP. Looks like it went down a little bit further. 513. Yeah, we would have been safe on that. All the way back up to 530. I think this is another one that I want to take that play on. I know we're already past that VWAP line, but we kind of missed that opportunity. So we're going to go for a quick scalp up to 550 from 530 with just a 520 stop. So we're going to give it 10 cents here. Maybe a little bit more depending where you get in. It's going to be 519 for me right now. I don't really want to risk more than that, because this is going to be a pretty quick scalp. APRN's actually not looking too bad. But we'll look at Biora. We'll see about that. 85 cents all the way up to $1.14, so our range is good. We're at a pretty decent price range. Should be looking at about a 3-cent stop, so we could take a play off this VWAP line. I think that's also something we could definitely do here. So we're going to go 103. We're going to go for a 115 area entry, or sorry, PT, and then a $1 stop, I think. $1 brings us right here. Probably good enough. We'll see what that does. AMTD heading back down, so it is in fact a dead cat. If you waited patiently, you got a 180 entry here on HLBZ. Definitely could be something worth getting into. It is looking like it's consolidated heavily at this area. It should start to move back up. CLWT is still struggling. It did get down to 207 here. However, I took a 208 entry. We're up to 209, so at least we're a little bit positive on it so far. There's 550 on MGAM right as I switch back to it there, so we are in profit and taking it. PT, MGAM, taking profits here and leaving a runner. So we're going to see if we can push this even further, but I'm happy that our scalp worked out the way we wanted it to. BIOR looking good here. We did hit a high there of 108 all the way back down to that 103 area. So if you didn't get your entry last time on BIOR, looks like it's giving it to you again. I would say taking profits at 108, 109, definitely smart. Remember, every cent here is going to be 1% basically. So First time taking profits, you'll probably look at taking profits at 106 to 108. HLBZ looking to bounce. CLWT at 210 currently. Would probably be take profit around 208 to 215 maybe. So this area we're going to be looking at taking profit. I feel like that line is really thin. That's the proper width. Ink still continues its way down to that 200 EMA. This is another potential entry opportunity. NGAM all the way back down here, down to 523. Bior back up to 106. So remember what we said, 106 is the beginning area of where you'd be wanting to take profits. So if you're feeling a little uneasy about the stock, that would be where you'd want to start to take some profits. HLBC still flirting with that 180 entry point, and CLWT slowly crawling back up now. We're at 212 on it. Looking at, well, not 217, 215 is where we want to take profits. 215 right there. We're looking at taking some profits at 215 on it. We'll see if maybe we can get a little higher. Sitting at 212. HLBZ really not doing a whole lot either. iLeg breaks down from that 200. It's going to continue down. It's making new lows of the market. Market open anyway. iLeg continues its way down. MGAM's not really doing a whole lot. Bior at 109. We did hit as high as just about 110 there. Definitely a good place to take some profit. Remember, we are aiming for about 115, but that's a very far price target. So make sure you're taking profits on the way up. Currently at 111, so 103 to 111 so far. Not bad, not bad. Oh, 9% in profit. 112, 10%. Or 9% at 112. HLBZ drops into stop again, so that is going to be another stop out on HLBZ. Looks like it is going to go for a breakdown from here, so we're just going to leave that one be as well. We'll be looking to take a play. Maybe, I don't know if it'll quite get down to that 200 EMA. Wednesdays are annoying. I would have to agree with you on that. We're definitely we're hitting a lot of small stops, but we're hitting a lot of decent sized winners as well. Why is that showing? Oh, because we haven't taken any profit on it yet. So we did hit up to 212 here on CLWT. It did take a nasty drop back down to that 200 EMA, so we're just a little bit below entry now. If you took some profits, good job. If you didn't, this could start to look a little risky as it is breaking down into, if it breaks past this support area, not looking good. We'll have to see. MGAM is definitely stopping if you didn't take all of it out around that 550 area. Bior all the way back down here, so I'm hoping people took profits around that 112 area. We were definitely well in profit, so it does look like it's going to be breaking down into stop here if you did not take most of it out. AERC, we can take a look at that quickly as well. Actually, we don't even need to open that. We could just go to iLeg and replace that. Man, I remember the stock was playing a lot higher than this. Yeah, like we got all the way up to like 25 bucks or something on AERC. Now it's down to 5 or 7 currently. Yeah, that was a random halt up. So when you see things like this go from no volume to lots of volume, usually this is accompanied by another drop and back to no volume. There's a lot of chance that it does keep its volume, but it's unlikely. Yep, breaking under $1. So if you didn't take your profits on Bior here, you are stopping out for sure. The only thing we have going for us right now is CLWT, and I wouldn't say it's looking great. It looks like it's looking to break down. So if you're still in it and you didn't take profits, you might want to be thinking about getting out near break even. Curious to see how far this breaks back down. There's a lot of these that look like they should be breaking down. AMTD is actually holding up pretty nicely here. To take another dip back down to 220 and then back up to 240 almost. There's decent money to be made on this if you want to take plays below that 200 EMA. CLWT is looking not great still. VLD not doing anything. OSER not doing anything. Inked looks like it may be recovering off that 200, but again, we've got low volume, not a lot of price action. Spread's not bad though. You could potentially take a play off this, but man, I really hate taking plays on things that have no volume. I'm going to leave it. If you want to take a play on it, you can. I don't want to make the call. It's one of those risky areas where you can kind of get blamed for pumping and dumping, especially if you're making a call to hundreds or thousands of people on something that doesn't have any volume currently. Is NGAM a good reentry at the 200? Possibly. It could possibly be a good entry. I mean, you wouldn't be breaking into a new low of day or anything, so that's a good sign. It could be decent. It could definitely be decent. I'd have to reassess when you get there. I don't think it's going to quite make it down there. I think this is probably where it starts to curl back up. But we did hit what looked like almost a double top here, so it's something to be careful with. Did break into a new low, but that was a bullish candle. This one's like sort of bullish so far. CLWT looks like it's bouncing off that support area and moving back up to that 200 EMA. If it can maintain above it again, might be okay. You never really know. Bior just jumping back up. So I think this is where we want to jump back in on Bior back at 103. Bior 103. We're going to go for just a 111. We'll go for 112 again and then a $1 stop. If you can get lower, obviously that's going to be better. 102, I'll take it. Gives me a 0.99 stop. Right there. You might even have an opportunity to get in lower if this doesn't curl up right away, but I am a very impatient person, so I jumped at the first opportunity I saw. Again, taking profits at that 106 area would be beneficial. HLBZ continues its breakdown. CLWT finally back at break even, slight profits. You can take it here if you're worried about this. We do have very slim volume. We're not really seeing a whole lot of momentum. This is going to be a slower play. I have about 14 minutes to play, so we'll see what happens. I took a trade on Sim yesterday for ES, and I forgot to close it out before I left. And I came back today and it was like 36,000 in profit. So I was like, oh, that would be nice. I think it was only like, I think I had 4 contracts for it, but it made so much gains from yesterday. Yeah, like I think I bought it down here or something. No. How does that work? No, it would have been, oh, we had this giant move up here. That's why. Yeah, it probably would have been somewhere along here. Yeah, it was it 36,000? I'll have to go back and check. I thought it said 36,000. I only checked quickly because I heard a ding. Bior down a little bit. Yeah, the CPI definitely helps. I wouldn't expect this market recovery to last very long, seeing as how I think the latest, what do they call, statisticians? The people who decide how likely a war is going to be are saying there's about a 68% chance that we get into a world war with China, which is weird because you would have thought it would have been Russia, but they're saying China. Hey, there you go. There's never a wrong chat to be talking about your gains. Yeah, Yeah, that's true. It will be Russia and China on the same side. They've been making a lot of moves leading up to an actual world war. I do think that's where we're headed, unfortunately. But I'm that crazy conspiracy theorist who was saying that like 4 or 5 months ago that we were going to be in a world war. I would say give or take maybe another month or two until we actually start seeing military action. But I do think it's going to happen, and that's going to ultimately help the market. But I think in the beginning, it's going to hurt it. Yeah, oh, it's definitely not conspiracy anymore. But I always make these speculations, especially like to my family and stuff, like early on, and they're all like, "No, that could never happen. We're not going to get into a world war." Just like, when Russia was starting to like think about invading Ukraine, and everyone's like, "Nah, it's not actually going to happen." And they're like, "Oh shit, it happened." It's like, yeah, this is just the way it's going right now. So New York City, that seems. I feel like New York City is just a dangerous place to be. Like I feel like that's the capital. I know it's not the capital. I know Washington is the capital or whatever you guys call it, but New York City, like if I was gonna bomb something, I'd say there's probably a lot more people in New York City than there would be in Washington. So that's where I would try, right? Does that make sense? Is that in the center too? I have no idea. I'm really bad at geography. It's the economic center, yeah. Yeah, so I feel like that would be a target for sure. And then didn't you guys get like a little warning about like what to do in a nuclear attack or something? See, that's unnerving to me. Like if my government was like, "Oh yeah, just by the way, in case if you ever get hit with a nuke, this is what you're going to do." It's like, "Well, you're probably going to be dead, but thanks for the advice, I guess. I'll make sure I get indoors away from windows." HLBZ still not really looking great here. So no play there. AMTD's back down quite a bit. Like there's definitely a potential for some plays on AMTD. I'm just not really there on it yet. Inked definitely had a recovery. So, there's that play from about 135, currently at 140. AERC looks like it might actually be holding the volume. Nasdaq's dropping. Definitely not a good sign. Bio is still struggling. It looks like it wicked us out, but I didn't get stopped out on it. Maybe from spread or something. I'm not really sure. In any case, it's not looking good. So if you're still holding on to it, just be aware this could be a quick stop out. I mean, yeah, not really seeing much else for plays. If you're still in CLWT for whatever reason, I mean, like it's holding on the support line, but I do think at some point it's going to fail on that. So taking profits or getting out of break even would be my recommended action with this stock. Let's take a look at. I'm going to take a look at FinViz here. Nasdaq is definitely dropping. Here, I'll just move that here. Yeah, Dow's up currently, but yeah, everything's taking a dip. Market's still overall green, but yeah. Crude oil's down. Big surprise. CPI data, yeah. Inflation's cooling. That's just a gimmick. It's not cooling. There's no chance in hell that inflation's just like, oh yeah, we're over it. We're recovering that. No, that's not happening. But that's okay. I'll learn to play with it. CLWT is still looking iffy. HLBZ not doing anything still. Bio are still sitting at $1. Yeah, lack of volume. Definitely lack of price action currently. I feel like we're going to get a random spike. It'll be one way or the other. Could go up, could go down. MGAM here not really doing a whole lot. AERCs looks like one of the only things that actually still has volume. But yeah, I was gonna say I'm not really too into taking a play on this, especially since it did just run up into a halt, so it's got a lot of room to make up for on the downside. CLWT still worries me. HLBZ is not. Maybe it's ready for a curl up, but I'm not sure. I said it. I don't wasn't sure it was gonna hit that 200 EMA. I'm still not sure it will. Hey man, this is a good time to end it green. Definitely. If you're green at this point, I feel like it's only downhill from here, unless we get lucky. Bior is stopping me out this time. So we'll go ahead and take that exit. Hey, well, green's green, I guess. I would definitely say if people are wanting to like push their luck to keep playing, but that's pretty much what you'd be doing at this point, would be to push your luck. That's why I've mainly just been sitting on my hands for the last 10 minutes. I'm not seeing too much opportunity here that isn't without high risk. VLD's looking okay, but it's hard to play. It's not the easiest thing in the world. Same with Ulcer. Inked is not really moving at all. AERC is heading down. MGAM's got a nice green candle here with some volume behind it. Maybe this will pick up in volume again, but yeah, that's really about it. Bior, nice big green candle there going from 0.98 all the way up to 102, so that would have been a 4% candle there. I still think that Bior has an opportunity to make money. You would probably have to give it a decent stop. You'd probably be looking at yeah, you'd probably be wanting to get in around 98 cents this time. And then you'd probably have a stop here at 96 cents. That would probably be the best idea for a trade that I have right now. But let's go ahead and look at the thing, see what we did. As far as the money board goes, we made 1,800 bucks today. That brings us to $8,000 and 28% gain. So technically speaking, today's been one of the worst days. In fact, I think it is besides the days where we made nothing, because I wasn't here. But yeah, all around, this has been one of the worst days so far, which is weird because we opened up very green. We had CLWT for 16%, HLBZ for 22%, couple small wins here and there. Inked got us a decent win, and then another decent win on Bior, but then we took a 2% loss on it as well. Biggest loss was VLD for 3.4%, and that was just bad math on my part. I think I gave it like 20 cents room on a $4 stock or $4.50 stock, but it should have been about 15 cents. But what can you do? It happens. Other than that, yeah, I guess we're just gonna wait and see if anything happens with any of these stocks. Yeah, not in Bio anymore. Nope, that thing stopped me out. Kind of wish it was though, because it looks like it is recovering nicely if I gave it just 1 more cent. Yep, exactly. Good day to learn when to hold and when to fold. It's definitely a day to fold. Yeah, Bioware looks like it's got some good opportunity. I think I'm going to make a call for a play. I'm going to try and manage it past the first hour here because I've already done futures and won today on that, so got some extra time. But I'm going to go for a dollar entry on it. We're going to go for about 112 on it as a PT, and then we're going to go for a 0.97 stop. That would be my longer term play for the day to see if we can make that happen. We might get better than a dollar entry. You could get a little lower, maybe 9.9. If you get 9.9, you could afford a 9.6 stop. What do I do for the rest of the free time? I'm still creating content for the course. I do futures. I read market news. I take my dogs out. I go to the gym. I go back on all my trades and make sure they're all ledgered correctly. I chart everything out again. I take notes on things I made mistakes on to work on in the future. That kind of stuff. it's definitely a very good habit to get into, to go back on your trades and take a look at them and be like, oh, I messed this up, and play with the Nespresso machine. Definitely. Probably about 5 or 6 cups of coffee a day. I should really sleep more too. CLWT at 212, 213, so it is making a move up right now. Nice green candle there. Are we in any positions? Currently not really. I mean, you might be in CLWT if you didn't take the cut, but besides that, no, there's nothing else. We're waiting for an entry on Bior, which, it gave us an opportunity a little while ago if you got in on that. HLBZ, there's definitely an opportunity for HLBZ to be played as well. I do think this has a good opportunity to make some money. I might take another play on this, but I doubt it. I really don't want to be taking too many plays past the first hour. I would definitely focus on that. Maybe CLWT if we pick back up in volume. Bior definitely has a good opportunity to make some money. I would stay away from MGAM right now. ARC maybe, but not really. Inked, no volume, no. Maybe VLD. So yeah, I would basically be playing these five: HLBZ, CLWT, Bior, AMTD, VLD. VLD, the candles are looking pretty slim. The profit margin's not really there, but you never know. There could be an opportunity there. AMTD, it's looking pretty predictable with bounces. I mean, if you can get in on a low and ride it up 10, 20 cents, you're probably looking pretty good on that. Bior definitely getting in around $1, and as high as $1.12 is doable. I think if you break a new high on Bior, it could definitely run. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. And then CLWT, if you're taking, if you're still in that position, the take profit was 215, which we hit twice. So that's half decent as well. But yeah, there's definitely some opportunities in the market as long as it stays somewhat alive. So. But beyond that, I think I'm done for the day. We will pick this back up tomorrow. Hopefully, the market's looking decent. The open of the market was looking good today, but besides that, yeah, we ran into a lot of pockets of low volume. Yeah, enjoy your day too, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow.